Ben Johnson today was asked by the media. I guess Dan Campbell maybe doesn't meet on Thursdays, something like that. But he was asked today about the head coaching, the love, the kind of the appeal, the fact that he's been getting talked about being a head coach. Now, I think defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, I think D'Amico Ryan, I think he's going to be a hot candidate coming out this year, maybe next. But Ben Johnson is also hot. Now, last year we heard Aaron Glenn was the hot coaching take. He would be in Denver, right? That was kind of like Ben Johnson is supposedly on the radar to be a head coach. Now, I think it will be some head coaching vacancies. Right now, Carolina has one. The Colts have one. The Denver Broncos are going to have one. Nathaniel Hackett will be fired. Black Monday, he out of here. Now, rumor has it that the front runner already is Dan Quinn. Almost called the brother Bob Quinn. But Ben Johnson is now this year's Aaron Glenn for the Detroit Lions. But it was something he said that I really did appreciate. He said, because you know the media, they gotta try to drag stuff out of you. You tell them I'm not going to talk about that, and they talk about it anyway, right? So Ben Johnson did something that I appreciate. The same thing that Mark Brunell did a couple weeks ago when they asked about when the Lions were sitting in like the first or second pick about a quarterback. It was, how do you feel about the fact that you're getting head coaching attention? And he said, I'm thinking about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm trying to finish the season. Then down the line, they asked him again. I'm trying to finish the season. He said, I know, literally, I think it was Wojo. He said, I know you said you don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to ask you anyway. How do you balance the rest of the season with trying to be, the head coaching love that you're potentially getting? He said, I'm thinking about the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I like that. Will Ben Johnson be a head coach? What do y'all think? I think it's a long shot. I think just like Aaron Glenn last year, Aaron Glenn, if I'm not mistaken, did interview for the Denver Bronco job, but he didn't get it. I think this year could be pretty much the same thing. If the Lions make the playoffs or even with the top 10 offense, I think he could really be that would up his stock as a head coaching candidate. Nate says not next year, but the year after maybe. I could see that. But just like Aaron Glenn, he's regressed. Now he's in nobody's head coaching talk, right? Salty agrees. Not next year, but maybe the year after that. Well, one thing about these guys that we've seen. Oh, it was New Orleans. Okay, thank you, Nick. One thing that we've seen when it comes to these potential coordinators becoming head coaches is we need consistency. So I think you guys are right. I don't think he gets a head coaching job next year. One, because the Detroit Lions have zero tree of sending people to become head coaches, of head coaching getting plucked from, could you imagine a coach from the Dan Campbell coaching tree? No disrespect to MCDC. I'm about to say something hot, though. You got 7 wins. What do you see from people consistency? Eric Bieniemy, something going on there because he ain't been hired one time. The people who keep getting callbacks. The people who have had head coaching jobs get fired and then get rehired. What's the guy's name from Jacksonville? Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl in Philly, got fired for tanking, quote unquote, and is the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You see consistency. So Ben Johnson said all the right things. I think he meant what he said, and I don't think that he will be no matter what happens this year, I don't think he becomes a head coach because people want to see consistency. If you would have hired Aaron Glenn, if the New Orleans Saints would have hired Aaron Glenn, what would be going on over there, right? You gotta have, these guys gotta have a track record. Now, I wouldn't mind if he didn't go because we can really see what that offense does. I made a whole video on my page that the Lions need Sean Payton. Well, Sean Payton comes with a lot of baggage, a lot of stuff, and that's not going to happen. Sheila Hamp has already said that Dan Campbell, she believes in the management, and that's not happening. So let me know. Ben Johnson, will he be a head coach next year?